Probably about $10, give or take. Depends on traffic and whether I have to take detours and where I drop you off. Okay, whatever. Just get us out of here. That didn't sound promising. The man jittered as she turned off the street. Have I driven you before? She asked, glancing at the girl in her rearview mirror. You didn't call through the agency. Yeah, you drove me once. A few months ago, you picked me up when my boyfriend ditched me. I still had your card in my purse. Not too many chicks driving cabs. Yes, she recognized the girl who had run out in front of her cab when Holly was following a subject. She'd had no choice but to give her a ride. The girl had deteriorated since then. Her habit was slowly eating away at her. Holly didn't try to figure out why they'd wanted a woman driver. Tweakers were always paranoid, so maybe they considered a woman to be safer. Relieved to be out of that neighborhood, she breathed easier and pulled onto a road where businesses had long ago closed. She would be glad when she got back onto more populated streets. Just as Holly's sense of security returned, Stevie slid up his dirty t-shirt and took hold of something in his waistband. She gasped as he pulled out a .38 revolver, cocked it, and pointed it at her. Are you kidding me? She swerved and almost ran off the road. What are you doing? Keep both hands on the steering wheel and pull over. He jabbed at her temple. Do it. That would make as much sense as driving off a bridge. Pulling over would ensure that they stole her car and killed her, leaving Lily to grow up without her mother. Holly slowed and pretended to pull over, then stomped the accelerator, swerving hard to make the man lose his balance as she tried to knock the gun from his hand. Shrieking, the girl leaned forward and threw a belt over Holly's throat, threatening to choke her. He said, "Pull over!" Holly groped at the belt, but kept her foot on the accelerator. Are you brain dead? She choked out. I'm driving! The car picked up speed. 60, 70. You kill me, and you're both dead too. The girl loosened the belt, leaving it around Holly's neck, and the man steadied his aim. Holly deliberately ran off the road, then swerved sharply back onto the asphalt. This time, she knocked the gun from his hand. He groped for it on the floorboard, found it, then swung it up into her face, its metal splitting her lip. Tasting blood, Holly swerved again and stabbed her fingers into the soft tissue of Stevie's eyes. He cried out in pain, and she knocked the gun free again. The girl jerked the belt, forcing Holly's head back against the headrest. Holly clawed at it and slammed on the brakes, throwing her passengers forward. The girl lost her leverage, and Holly got her fingers between the belt and her throat and ripped it away, then slammed the accelerator again. The crazed man grabbed the wheel and pulled, forcing her to turn into a parking lot. She stomped to a screeching halt just before ramming into a building. Holly dove for the gun on the floorboard, but the guy kneed her in the face, then thrust a knuckle punch to her eye. Recoiling, she tried to grab the gun, but he came up with his finger on the trigger. Give me your cash, all of it, he shouted. I don't have any. She lied. The girl bent over the seat, snatched the money bag and Holly's purse, and bolted out the back door. Holly watched, astonished, as the girl left Stevie behind and ran behind the building. Cursing, he flung the door open, lunged out, and ran after the woman. Holly stumbled out, wiping the blood from the bloody gash over her eye. She opened her trunk, grabbed her gun, and aimed at him over the hood. Stop or I'll shoot! He disappeared around the building. I have to pay my mortgage, she cried, knowing it was useless. She couldn't run after them. She'd only given birth 4 weeks ago. She dropped back into the car and pulled around the building, looking for them. The girl had scaled a fence and dropped to the other side. Now she was running into the woods. The man was almost over the fence. Holly slammed her fist against the steering wheel and tried to calculate how much money they'd gotten. She would have to start all over, be away from Lily twice as long. She pulled her phone out of her jeans pocket and called the police, then looked